Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I've actually made this little kind of bag of squishy gummy bears. You're probably thinking, Chelsea, you could have probably just used a bag of normal gummy bears to get this, but this one here is going to last forever and I've made it so that it's just going to be everlasting. So what's not to love about that? And apparently I like to make weird things like this, so that's exactly what I've done. I've also made them pumpkin pie edition to just fit in with the last few days of Halloween. So to make the gummy bears, I just took some liquid plastic, popped it into a saucepan and heated it up till it melted. I added some orange dye and then I used my spoon just to pop it into a gummy bear mold. I did wear safety equipment including gloves and a mask whilst doing this, and I would suggest only adults only doing this craft. So once the gummy bears had cooled down, I just popped them out of the molds, and because I did such a bad job at pouring the plastic into the molds, I had to cut off all the excess around it. Once I had done that, I was left with a handful of gummy bears, and these look so realistic, you have no idea, but they are just really squishy and not edible, so do not eat them. Anyway, I then moved on and made the packaging for the squishy, which is definitely just topped the whole thing off. I just took a small grip seal bag and then just kind of pressed it shut with all the gummy bears inside, and as you can see, they just look so happy in their new little sleeping bag. That's what I like to call it, by the way, when I've got little squishies in little bags, they're in a little sleeper bag. I just think it's so cute. Anyway, so to top off with the rest of the packaging, I just took some plain A4 paper. This is just normal printer paper, and I just folded it over and then marked out the width of the bag. I then just cut out the rectangle part that I wanted, which I actually cut out on the fold so that it was the front and the back. I unfolded it and then just started popping my design onto it. So I actually wrote out the words pumpkin pie gummy bears onto the packaging because I wanted to kind of make, Halloweeny themed, and I figured you wouldn't really want orange flavored gummy bears, you would want them to be pumpkin pie flavored, because what's not to love about that, especially for Halloween. So I just went over it with my thick end of my pens and then just made it really stand out. I added some little hearts on it as well just to be a little bit cute, and then I coloured in the whole of the front side in the green colour. I do mention this in all of my videos where I use these pens. These pens I bought from Amazon. I got a set of 100 of them for about £20, maybe £25, something like that. But they are actually double-ended, so you have a fine liner on one end and a brush liner on the other. This is not sponsored, it never has been. I paid my own money for them, and yeah, I'm really happy with them, so I always recommend them, and I've not had a problem with drying out or anything like that so far. So I will leave them in the link down in the description down below if you want to check them out. On the other side of the packaging, I just wrote out the words do not eat, just in case anybody kind of gets their hands on them and decides to eat them, because they do look so realistic. So I think this is a really important message to put on your packaging if you are going to be making this craft, especially with Halloween around the corner, because you expect to see little packets of sweets. So yeah, just make sure to put a warning sign on them if you are going to make this. I did of course do it in the same colours because apparently I am just that basic and I couldn't think of another kind of colour scheme to go for, but I just used the orange and the green in the alternate way round. So once the packaging was completely dried, I just let the felt tips just dry onto the paper so that it all kind of evened out and everything, because when you get those lines, then if you secure it with the tape, they don't kind of dry down, but if you let it dry first, they do kind of blend into each other. That's just a little tip there. But I just went ahead and I taped down the whole thing to completely cover it, make sure it was nice and protected, kind of like I do on my paper squishies, and I feel like I haven't done one of those videos in such a long time. So let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see a few of those type videos next month, as I will be doing normal kawaii themed DIYs. Yeah, so I just covered it all in tape and then I just folded it in half again, and I actually just popped it over the grip seal part of the bag. I did make sure to take more tape and just tape up the ends so that they were completely closed, and then I added more tape again to make sure that the packaging part was completely attached to the gummy bear bag. So I made sure to make the tape overlap the actual paper part so that it was sticking both parts together. So once the label was completely attached to the gummy bear packet, as you can see, it was then complete. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Honestly, these little gummy bears are so squishy. They just feel exactly like the little mochi squishies that you can get, and yeah, they just feel so great. The only problem is they do look a little bit too realistic, but hopefully with my packaging it's going to warn people off from eating them. But yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out. Let me know down in the comments if you have any requests for any videos coming up next month. Like I said, I am going to be doing my usual kawaii based ones, not Halloween anymore. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, as it does help me along my way, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!